Another round of March Madness means another round of upsets and unpredictable basketball. We've seen so many upsets with this NCAA tournament, but some have argued that the exclusion at some of the NCAA's powerhouses is good for the sport as a whole, while some say not so much. Here to tackle that conversation are our experts Ennis Warlick, Jimmy Longo, and Evan Piercy. Jimmy, you want to start? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing with Cinderella's making it far in the tournament?
Well, it's a great thing because this is the best time of the year for sports, especially with the NCAA basketball tournament. You go into it and you make your bracket and you're like, okay, well, UVA is going to be definitely in the Final Four, and then they get knocked out in the first round. That is great. That's awesome to watch, and it's just fun as a basketball fan.
I agree with you that it's a great time for sports, but I don't agree with you on everything else you just said. Primarily because Cinderella stories, upsets are good for the first weekend. After that, no, absolutely not.
That's just
see,
not true.
No, because I want to see. I want to see the blue blood matchup of Duke versus Kansas. You want to see that, and a lot of people want to see that.
But a lot of people also like seeing Cinderella teams. People love seeing basketball programs being.
They can
built
see that
from
in the first weekend.
Butler got their reputation in the NCAA tournament by challenging all these big name teams, and they became a big name program. They weren't a big name program before they were beating all these teams.
And look at like Florida Gulf Coast a couple years back.
And where are they now? They're back down there.
But their school has gotten so much publicity, and their organization and their program has gotten so much better.
Can we distinguish between what people want to see and what Turner Sports wants to see broadcasting these
Right.
games?
So broadcasters obviously don't want to see these small schools progress in the tournament, but basketball fans are going to tune in regardless of who's playing. And
Not necessarily true.
I disagree with that.
I really disagree with that.
Okay, as a business standpoint, obviously you want the Blue Bloods like battling it out in the finals, but also look at Chicago, Loyola Chicago. The whole city of Chicago is probably like rooting for them, and a lot of people are going to tune into that because there's such a big story behind
but you have the town of Chicago, and you have people that just hate Michigan. You have Ohio State fans that are rooting against Michigan as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So that's another fan base, and then that's in addition to people that love basketball.
Even now, you look at the Final Four, you have 2 #1 seeds, a #3 seed, and then number 11 Loyola Chicago. So you still have like the powerhouse schools basically in the Final Four, just minus the one side of the bracket that lost 1 through 4.
Right.
And that's devastating to basketball. Not having those teams in it hurts because those are the best guys.
So would you rather have had UVA in the tournament in the Final Four rather than Loyola Chicago?
I would have had them at least in the Sweet 16.
Really? So
yes.
UVA is a more exciting team to watch than Loyola Chicago.
I say yes just because they are. So basketball fans will watch UVA because they play fundamental basketball. They'll watch it because how great they play defensively, how great they play as a team.
Although Michigan is a 3 seed, I still think it's impressive that they made it this far.
Michigan hasn't lost in a month.
It's impressive
They're
to
a
get
good
this
team.
far anyway.
It's impressive. It's impressive.
But just to go through, I don't care what team you are or what rank you are. It's awesome to see a Cinderella team.
I'm pro Cinderella. In the end, I'm pro Cinderella. But that's just me. I don't know.
I'm not.
But that's all the time we have for this discussion. When we come back, Thomas and I are having a new discussion about the most dominating players in all of sports.